So, this is a thing. Not sure why, but let's give it a go. I haven't played much of Skyrim, maybe an hour, so I don't know too much about what I'm getting into, but I have a feeling that this is a very different beast, so let's see what we're getting into. Alexa, play Skyrim.
Welcome back to Skyrim, adventurer. You were standing at a crossroads deciding where to go. In one direction is a foggy dock, in the other is an abandoned tower. Where would you like to go?
The abandoned tower.
In one direction is a foggy dock, in the other is an abandoned tower. Where would you like to go?
The abandoned tower.
In one direction is a foggy dock, in the other is an abandoned tower. Where would you like to go?
The abandoned tower.
You meet a dark elf candlemaker at the abandoned tower. She's lost an item of great sentimental value, a replica of the soup spoon of East Granmore. She begs you to retrieve it for her. Will you lend your aid to this desperate candlemaker?
Yes.
You arrive at your first dungeon. As the mighty Dovahkiin, you obviously already know that you can use your weapon, cast spell, or shout to battle your enemies. And, seeing as how you're Skyrim's chosen one, you certainly will never ever need to ask to flee when facing an enemy too powerful for you. Nope, a powerful warrior like you won't ever need to flee, or even take enough damage to ask, "What is my health?" So let's continue. You follow the quest marker to your destination. Have you been in these woods before? You can't remember. Will you press forward on your quest?
Yes.
Jump across a shallow river and continue on. No time to dry your boots. You hear clicking. A large mud crab scuttles out from a puddle. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast shout.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Use shout.
Foos. Your unrelenting force throws the large mud crab back, staggering
I
it.
know enough that
Your
that's
foe is
wrong.
resistant to this type of attack.
Oh, there's sound effects.
Your thumb grows mighty. Your shout skill has increased to level 2.
Yeah!
The large mud crab snaps its pincers. You take 6 damage. What would you like to do?
Use spell.
Your sparks zap the large mud crab. Your magic skill has increased to level 2. You have learned new spells. The large mud crab snaps its pincers. You take 6 damage. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your frostbite stings the large mud crab. Your magicka
Do I choose
swells
what
with
element
arcane
it is?
power. Your magic skill has increased to level 3. The large mud crab snaps its pincers. You take 6 damage. What would you like to do?
Use shout.
Foos. Your unrelenting force tosses the large mud crab into the air. It crashes to the ground. The large mud crab struggles to get up, briefly, then expires. Good riddance. You are victorious. Your health is at 82.
Yeah. 82.
Your shout skill has increased to level 3. You now command unrelenting force.
I'm Skyrim
There are 2
professional.
ways forward, a muddy footpath and a steep hill. Which do you choose?
A muddy footpath.
You move deeper into the forest. The forest is vast and flourishing. Unfortunately,
this real?
its hungry beasts are likely thriving as well. A howl catches your ear. A black wolf is charging you, teeth bare. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Attack with weapon.
Your dagger slices the wolf.
A danger?
Your skill with arms has increased to level 2. The wolf bites you.
It takes until
You take
adulthood
7
until you
damage.
figure out how to use
What
your
would you
arms
like
in
to
this
do?
game, I guess. Attack.
Foos row. Your
Yeah.
mighty shout slams the wolf into the dirt. The wolf struggles to get up, briefly, then expires. Good riddance. You have triumphed. You have 75 health. You loot the wolf's remains.
I'm
Find a
triumphing.
superior iron mace, and cast aside your old weapon. There are 2 paths before you, a cobblestone trail and a coniferous glade. Which do you choose?
A coniferous glade?
You move deeper into the forest.
It's a
The
coniferous.
sounds of the forest fill your ears. There's danger on the wind. You meditate before the last battle, dreaming of maidens and fields of wheat waiting for harvest. You hear heavy clacking noises. A giant mud crab snaps its claws menacingly. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Attack with weapon.
Your mace pummels the giant mud crab.
I have a mace now?
Your skill with arms has increased to level 3. The giant mud crab snaps its huge pincers.
I'm better at this game than I
Damage.
thought.
What would you like to do?
Use shout.
Foos row. Your mighty Thum crashes
Oh,
into
now
your
instead
foe.
of Foos, it's Foos.
Your foe has some resistance to
Do I
that
have to like
attack.
level it up?
The giant mud crab snaps its huge pincers. You take 10 damage. What would you like to do?
Kill it.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your sparks zap the giant mud crab. The giant mud crab snaps its huge pincers. You take 10 damage. What would you like to do?
Somebody out there is having way too much fun. Like outside my room. Attack with
You
weapon.
can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Attack weapon.
Your mace pummels the giant mud crab. The giant mud crab snaps its huge pincers. You
Is it
take
level
10
3?
damage. What would you like to do?
Attack with weapon.
Your mace thoroughly pounds the giant mud crab. The giant mud crab's dead shell clatters.
Okay,
If
how
only
big was
you
this
had time
crab?
to make some steamed mud crab legs. You have triumphed. You have 35 health. You ignore the useless junk in the giant mud crab's
I'm gonna
inventory
die.
and find a flawless iron battle axe. Ooh, shiny. You pick up the replica of the soup spoon of the Scrammore, determined to return it to its rightful owner. You realize the path
Yes.
through the forest loops back to where you started
to
your
the
quest.
tower.
That would have been good to know earlier.
You could have told me this
The
before.
Dark Elf Candlemaker thanks you for retrieving her replica of the soup spoon of the Scrammore.
Thank you, kind
How
sir.
could she live with it? As a reward, she gives
Without
you
it?
a bottle of skooma. This reminds you of your college days at Winterhold. After heading out on the road,
What's
you
Winterhold?
stop to sell some of the various junk you're carrying. Before the trader can finish his sales pitch informing you that some call his wares junk and yet he still actually believes them to be treasures and all that, you're back out the door. Soon, you arrive at a crossroads. In one direction is a fortified town, in the other is a foggy dock. Where would you like to go?
The fortified town.
You meet a Red Guard explorer at the fortified town.
Yeah.
He's lost an item of great sentimental value, a mysterious Dwemer cube. He begs you to retrieve it for him.
Guess
Will you lend your aid to this desperate explorer?
No!
After heading out on the road,
Oh,
you
that's
come
it?
across a guard who says, I got to thinking, maybe I'm the Dragonborn and just don't know it yet. You promptly knock him over with your Thum. Later,
With my
you
Thum?
arrive at a crossroads. In one direction is an ancient standing stone, in the other is a Nord village. Where would you like to go?
The Nord village.
Once at the Nord village, a Breton priest greets you. She looks
Breton
quite sad.
priest.
She tells you her childhood friend was killed by a mysterious evil in an abandoned fort. Will you avenge her childhood friend?
Hell yeah!
You follow the quest marker to your destination. There's not much here, besides a few dead Imperials and some odd-looking footprints. You follow these tracks into the fort. Will you venture in?
Yes.
You pass through a cobweb as you enter the room. A bandit outlaw is sipping meat at a table. He attacks in a drunken rage. You can attack with weapon,
But I don't have
cast
much health.
spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your sparks zap the bandit outlaw. The bandit outlaw jabs his dagger into your armor. You take 8 damage. What would you like to do?
Damn it, I'm at like 20. How much health do I have?
A powerful warrior like you won't ever need to flee, or even take enough damage to ask. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Attack with weapon.
Your battle axe rends the bandit outlaw. Your attack was not very effective.
What is this, Pokemon?
Your skill with arms has increased to level 4. The bandit outlaw jabs his dagger into your armor. You take 8 damage. What would you like to do?
Beat him up.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout.
There's gotta be
or
some
flee.
secret
What would
answer.
you like to do?
Cast spell. I don't know, like MP?
Your raised zombie strikes the
Skyrim have
bandit
MP?
outlaw.
Wait, I do what?
Your magicka swells with arcane power.
My
Your magic
magicka?
skill has increased to level 4. The bandit outlaw jabs his dagger into your armor. You take 8 damage. What would you like to do?
Cast shout. What does it use?
You can attack with weapon.
Use
cast
shout.
Spell. Use shout.
Use shout.
Or flee.
Shout.
What would you like to do?
Use shout.
Foos row. Your unrelenting force throws the bandit outlaw back.
That doesn't sound like
staggering
unrelenting
him.
force.
The bandit outlaw never
Foos
gets
row.
back up. That's what you get for messing with the Dovahkiin. You have triumphed. You have 76 health.
Wait, when did I get my health back?
Your thumb grows mighty. Your shout skill has increased to level 4. You ignore the useless junk in the bandit outlaw's inventory and find an epic iron greatsword.
Oh.
Ooh, shiny.
That's
There are
awesome.
3 paths forward, a winding hallway, a musty passageway, and a foul-smelling hallway. Which do you choose?
Alexa, stop.
Safe travels, adventurer. Because you played Skyrim Very Special Edition, I recommend another popular games skill called True or False. Want to try it?
No. So, that was something. Much more enjoyable than I thought. I feel like it's missing some content. Some of the words don't complete. Some sentences are not completed, I guess. I guess sometimes there's just words missing for some reason, but it's very interesting. I'm sure it's a lot more fun to fans of Skyrim. I don't know much of anything about Skyrim, so I guess if there's context that was being said, I don't know it. But I might mess around with it some more. This was just kind of trying it out, seeing what all it is. I mean, it looked really funny anyway, regardless of if I had any idea what I was doing. But that was part 1. Do you want a part 2? Let me know. I might record one anyway, but let me know if you want a part 2. I'll goof around with it a bit more. Until then, see ya!